Let's hear what you've written.
I am frightened of Donald Trump because he could create concentration camps. He could start a nuclear war.
You're not afraid of him because he could. When you're writing these worksheets, he could. That doesn't. I'm afraid he will.
Yeah, I'm afraid he will. I'm afraid he will start a nuclear war. I'm afraid he will ruin the environment for my son and future generations. I want Donald Trump to not be president, to disappear, to not be on the way to ruining our country, or at least to get a better, kinder set of cabinet members. Donald Trump shouldn't be president, should step down and offer the space to Hillary Clinton or even another Republican candidate. Shouldn't say and do racist, sexist, ableist, homophobic, and xenophobic things. I need Donald Trump to disappear, step aside, die, or wake the F up. Donald Trump and his supporters are possibly the bringers of internment camps, concentration camps, or even Armageddon.
And let's say will, rather than will possibly.
Okay.
Because we're putting our fears on paper.
Yeah. Will bring.
Your same experience will happen, but if you put yourself in the position where it's really happening, it really is so when you're doing inquiry, then possibly isn't going to take you as far as it's happening.
Yeah.
Because this is hypothetical.
I don't ever want to experience the fear and anxiety that Trump and his supporters have caused in me ever again.
Okay, so let's start at the top.
I'm frightened of Donald Trump because he will create concentration camps.
So Donald Trump is going to create concentration camps. Is it true? So several of you, I heard that, internment camps. I heard several of you when we were meditating out loud yesterday. He's going to create concentration camps. So can you absolutely know that it's true? He's going to create concentration camps.
No.
Okay, can anyone here absolutely know that that's what he's going to do? Okay, so just feel that for a moment. It's as though we think if we don't fear it, we can't do anything about it to stop it. Close your eyes and notice what happens internally. Notice future images. When you think the thought, he will create concentration camps. Now think of it as a movie, because it is. What do you see? It's that simple. What do you see? Okay, now notice how all those images of the future, notice how everything you've said, seen, and heard here are only images of the past. See it? You're carrying them forward. And for most of you, they're completely borrowed. You weren't even there. And notice the emotions, because you can see you there, you can see your children there, you can see military there, whatever it is you see there, just give it a moment, give it some respect. Look at it. This is the ego. Know it well. Those aren't people. That's not Trump. It's a movie. We're like children. So now, who would you be without your story? Open your eyes. Other than what you're thinking and believing, are you okay? Now go back to how you react when you believe the thought. This is obliterated. So you're witnessing all the evil in the world. Is it in Trump or is it in you?
I will create concentration camps.
Yeah, you just did. There's the proof on paper.
Yeah.
And notice how much time you spend in that movie. Creating concentration camps, as though if it did happen, that's not enough. You have to create it now, create it now. You know, if it's going to happen, have a good life until then. You know, who knows? It may never happen. And you've lived in a concentration camp. It's like, it's going to happen just before you die. So feel what's holding you. And notice the breath. It's free. You don't even notice it when you're in your concentration camp. The gifts, the light, People create concentration camps. Can you find a turnaround?
He will not create concentration camps.
Okay, so let's do some popcorn here. He will not create.
He won't create concentration camps because I will stop paying taxes.
See, now we're stepping into a little wisdom. Those things take money. That's a mind opener. And that's what I'm inviting you to. Trump will not create concentration camps. Yes.
In my experience, I've never heard him say he's going to put every American in a concentration camp.
Or any Americans.
Any Americans, yeah.
So there's one.
And also, if he's anything like me, I say I'm going to do a lot of things, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't.
See, she's in her work. She really, feel the laughter that you know yourselves, okay? So that is, you know, thank you. Those last two were just so delicious. So Trump will not create concentration camps. You feel empty? Catherine.
Trump will create liberation camps.
So tell us about that one. Where does your mind go? Liberation camps.
It's such a stressful storyline that people, and myself included, I can only talk about me, but it's inspiring me to think in ways that I've never thought before. So
Let's move to the next one. So he will start a nuclear war. Is it true? Can you really know that it's true that he will start a nuclear war?
I can't be absolutely certain, no.
And notice what happens to your life when you believe the thought. He'll start a nuclear war.
It's the images from the past again. The little kid running in Japan. I think many of us have seen that picture when the bomb dropped. You know, I feel sick to my stomach. I imagine everybody being sick.
Yeah.
Who's still alive. There's a movie I saw a long time ago about a nuclear war, and it's just a living hell.
Yeah. So that image, those are the images that happen when you think the thought he will start a nuclear war. Let's turn it around. I will.
I will start a nuclear war.
In my head, if I'm not aware of the difference between reality and fantasy in the moment.
Yeah.
So he will start a nuclear war. Turned around, he won't start a nuclear war.
He will not start a nuclear war.
Where can your mind go that would match that he will not start a nuclear war? Jerry, right here.
Well, he's all about business, and that would be too disruptive to business.
It's a good thing he owns a lot of hotels around the world. You know, what Jerry said is just very practical and very smart when you consider it. It's something to contemplate. Just noticing. Yes.
He will start a nuclear wave of consciousness in our world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
He will not start a nuclear war because he loves his children.
Beautiful. The awareness of wisdom is available when we're out of fear. Fear takes up all the space. That space junk, artificial intelligence, taking up all the wisdom.
He will not start a nuclear war because those today in power already started it.
Well, why aren't you laughing?
He appears, from what he says, to have a very hands-off management style. And, you know, there's a lot of people in the background in the military that probably think it's not a good idea. And he's relying a lot on, from what he says, their expertise.
So he will start a nuclear war, turned around.
I just got something. So nuclear, if you read it differently, it's nuclear.
Ooh. He will ruin environment for future generations. Is it true?
He will ruin the environment for my son and future generations. I will ruin the environment for my son and future generations.
Yeah, in your head, before it even happens, should it even happen? It's already ruined.
Yeah.
And who ruined it? Was it him or you in that moment when you see it that way? And that's the cause of your emotions, your depression, your anxiety. So he will not ruin the environment for future generations.
I've actually thought he could sort of save the environment because so many of us will double and triple our efforts to stop polluting and be more mindful of the environment. And also we may need to see skies like they have in China before we get it. So much fear.
So much confusion.
Yeah.
You've written, I don't want Trump to be president. Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. It's still true.
Okay, that's like saying you don't want democracy. I feel like I'm bringing bad news here. You don't want Trump to be president. Go back to when you first realized that the map all turned red.
It looked like blood to me.
Pure imagination. I mean, it's like the screen on the screen on the screen on the screen. Who would you be without the thought? I don't want Trump to be president.
Often when I do the work, I think I'd be what I was the moment before the thought came.
Who would you be listening to the news without the thought, I don't want Trump to be president?
I couldn't bear to get the news, so I went to sleep. And I told my husband and son, I asked them to please wake me up if she won, but don't wake me up if she didn't. And so when I woke up in the morning, I remembered, and they hadn't woken me up. And it was like, and it just, I felt so heavy walking to the bathroom to brush my teeth. It just, But it was still the same bathroom and the same toothbrush, and, I was just brushing my teeth. And I did realize that, yeah, nothing really changed. Not in that moment. We're still here.
So, other than what you were thinking and believing, nothing changed. I don't want Trump to be president. Turn around, I don't want me.
I don't want me to be president. Yeah, that's for sure. Kind of going with Christie's work yesterday. God is president. You always say, who needs God when we have your opinion? We don't need my opinion.
Yeah, it's an opinion that puts kind of like this blanket over the world that morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alan Watts, the teacher, he says everything's a continuation of the Big Bang, and that gives me a lot of comfort because I think that is true.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a stressful thought. And so, Trump got elected when the whole thing came into being. This whole it.
So that's a timeless state.
Yeah.
So I want Trump to disappear to get better, kinder cabinet members. So I want me
To disappear.
Yeah, my thoughts, my thinking that's crazy, out of time, to disappear and continue to get better.
Better, kinder set of cabinet members.
Yes, so worksheet on those cabinet members. Because they're not ever going to be kinder unless of a threat until you do a worksheet or have some kind of major epiphany.
I almost feel my ego like squirming and like this creature wanting to stay alive because I was like, but. I just read some news from Breitbart News about how all the hate crimes are fake news. And it brings this all back.
And then you get upset.
Yeah.
Because you don't believe it.
Right.
Okay, so you don't believe it. You're safe. But when you imagine how that's going to affect us, it's a bit arrogant to think that we don't know at least as much as you know. I mean, you're thinking for us. And so, for some of us, that kind of arrogance is our suffering.
Yeah, I'm
It's
being
like-
president.
Good one.
I don't want to be president. Yeah.
He shouldn't be president. He should step down and offer the job to someone else.
Yeah.
So turned around, I shouldn't.
I shouldn't be president.
Yeah, you're running the cabinet, you're running the world, you're running who should be president, you're running,
Yeah.
and it hurts. It's a burden that's not yours, but is yours. I shouldn't be president, I should
step down, offer the space to Hillary
No, just offer the space.
or anyone else.
Offer the space to the one that's got it, Trump.
Offer the space to Trump. Yeah.
Soon to be President Trump. President-elect Trump. I mean, you may as well offer it to him, it's his. I mean, he's just catching up with reality.
I almost didn't do this, and several people have come up to me like, are you going to do Trump? Are you going to do Trump? They can't wait. And a couple said, I didn't want to do Trump because I want to keep hating him.
There's a lot of power in that I know mind. It's like, whoa, I'm right on this one. Okay, sweetheart, the next one, 4.
He shouldn't say and do racist, sexist, ableist, homophobic, and xenophobic things.
Oh, good. So turn it around.
I shouldn't say and do racist, sexist, ableist, homophobic, and xenophobic things.
Yeah, so that's the best teacher to walk this world to your thinking.
Yeah.
That example goes a long way. It's the opposite of what you're fearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I do number 4? I need Trump to disappear, step aside, die, or wake the F up.
Okay, so if he did all those things, would you be happy? That completely changed. Would you be happy? Were you happy before you even ran?
Happier.
Oh, really?
It seems like it.
Like comparing with what moment?
Well, like now
just-
sometimes I cry because of this. I wake up in the night. Sometimes
Have you ever cried and
Yeah, but for other reasons, yeah. But not because of the president. Yeah, okay. That's true.
Okay, so let's try this. I need Trump to disappear, step aside, die, or wake the F up. Turned around, I need my thoughts, my thinking regarding Trump, his cabinet. I need
My thinking to disappear, step aside, die, or wake the F up.
to wake up. That's the only way out that I know. I don't know another way out. I mean, even death isn't a way out, because if you're dead, you don't know you're out. There's no way out but in. That's it. So we're going to be pushed to it, pushed to it, pushed to it as love would have it. So the next one.
Trump and his supporters will bring internment camps, concentration camps, or even Armageddon.
My thoughts bring.
My thoughts bring internment camps, concentration camps, or even Armageddon. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And you can do it from your couch. You can just get still, meditate on those questions in worksheets like this, and wake the F up.
I've been trying to wake the F up, and I'm stuck.
Well, trying didn't give me a lot of answers. They came when I got really still. Through the questions, I ask, I open, I notice, I realize, and this consciousness shifts. Okay, I don't ever want.
I don't ever want to experience the fear and anxiety that Trump and his supporters have caused me ever again.
His supporters are the cause of your anxiety, is it true? They voted, darn. I mean, this is a democracy, we vote. So his supporters are the cause of your anxiety, is it true?
I gotta say yes.
And what supporters are those? How many of them have you met?
Some of them are relatives.
So are you the black sheep in the family, or are they the black sheep in the family?
I don't know.
It could be you just all have a vote. You get to vote out of your own mind.
I mean, I got anxiety when someone in the room yesterday shouted, "He's going to make America great again." It's like, oh, they're here.
Well,
And I'm going to
And
do the work on Trump. They're going to attack me when I leave the room.
we all have a vote. If you believed the thoughts that they believed, you would vote for Trump too. You'd have to.
Yeah.
So they're guilty of thinking?
Yes.
Boy, I tell you, the prejudice that the left is holding, I don't know.
It's true. That's true.
But it's okay because we're right. You know what the right is saying? Yeah, it's true, but we're right. Can you stop believing what you believe, and the moment you believe it, try it. You can't. That's it. We're equal in that. People who voted on the right have every reason in the world to do that, just like your vote on the left.
I get that.
Anything less than getting that, it's war. It divides a country, and then we blame it on Trump or them. And
My parents grew up in Germany during World War II. They were little kids. So when I came to the school, you did the work with me about Nazis. Well, I was down there, but I also like to blame Hitler for my fear and anxiety.
so that's what you're moving forward here. And sweetheart, that's a lot. That's a lot. But it's not more than you can deal with because it's yours. That's your thing.
Yeah, that's my thing. I once had a counselor who said to me, "You're a second-generation war victim." And I loved that. Like, someone understands. But, then there's victims or violent people. And that whole thing of, grabbing onto that identity. Wanting to be understood as someone who had these things.
Who
done to
suffers
them.
legitimately.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
legitimate suffering.
Yeah,
That's
it's
my
like I
story.
suffer legitimately, and let's see, I'm still suffering. Suffering is suffering.
Yeah. 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 There's been this crazy story, like if people got it, if they understood my suffering, then I'd be better. Then I'd stop suffering. This is all bullshit. The Trump sign. I'm good, Katie.
You know, sweetheart, you have just made America great again.
Oh, man. Trump helped me do it, yep. He brought me here. That's why I'm here.
It's the nuclear.
The nuclear. The first day I was like, what? You're talking about your girlfriend not saying hello in the grocery store? We've got Trump. Like everyone should be doing Trump. I was mad. Suffering, that's what I'm addicted to. The question, what are your addictions and compulsions? That's it. Suffering and attempts to control.
Suffering and attempts to make that suffering real.
Yeah, with this weird idea that makes it go away.
Okay, so, yes, the lady in the back?
Thank you so much for doing your work. And I really wish that I was able to get a lot more relief out of it, but I have not been able to. And I understand, you know, Donald Trump has a right to run. He has a right to pursue his ambitions. And my annoyance is I've done the worksheets and I haven't been able to find any relief, but my annoyance is that I feel like white women voted in Donald Trump. And, you know, like the numbers are like 93% of black women voted for Hillary, 68% of Latino women voted for Hillary, and then 53% of white women voted for Trump. And it kills me because I feel like historically we've all been taught of like white women being, you know, the embodiment of women's empowerment and freedom and going around and teaching it and being kind of the face for feminism. And then the one opportunity that they had where their vote was really going to make a difference, they failed. And it's really been one of those things that's annoyed me.
Also, they succeeded, their candidate won. It's like people are not who we believe them to be just because we believe it. So who disappointed you, them or you?
I disappointed myself, but I still feel like...
People aren't who you believe them to be necessarily.
Yeah.
It's just what you wanted, sweetheart. You know, there's a lot of fake news out there, and it doesn't matter in the world if it's true or false. The fake news is running here. And just a sliver of that, an example is, if your mind were open to not believing what you think, then there's no way you could have been disappointed. When you're less disappointed, you're more in touch with wisdom. The way you navigate in the world is much wiser. And you could be right about the women.
It's true.
But you don't know. So when the vote comes in, you're not surprised. You're more fascinated, interested, informed, alive, curious. And that's where change takes place.
Now that you mentioned that, I'm like, now I am kind of curious as to why the vote would have gone in that direction.
There, you can have it instantaneously. Just keep doing your worksheets, get still. It's like if I had the thought about white women, dun, 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 okay? And I believe that, so I'm working on that one, okay? So every time I had connection or a thought about white women, they're gonna show me what's true, what's not, what's true, what's not. And I learn and grow from it, I'm informed from it because I'm not coming out of prejudice. So anytime I believe he is this, they are that, she is that, I am building prejudice.
Yeah.
It's that artificial intelligence that overrides intelligence. It's fake news.
Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
This wonderful man walked up to me this morning and thanked me for my work on Trump, like lots of you have been doing. And I went to hug him, and he went like this, and I said, oh, you have something contagious. And he said, well, I'm a Trump supporter. Where are you, friend? Are you here? You don't want to stand up? And so I just wanted to hug him all the more. Such a sweet man.
Well, who needs the hug, him or you?
Yeah, me. He told me why he voted the way he did, and it just melted my heart. So thank you, friend.
Tell us.
Because he thought it would break up the gridlock, or whatever you call it, the thing in Congress, the way things are not moving. He felt like that would shake things up. Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to out myself as the white female Republican. And I'd be happy to give you a hug.
So if you'll go collect that, if that's...
And what I got from this, what I got from what you said was the fear about them and us, it's always there. I had no idea how fearful you were of me. I had no idea that people disliked me so much. It was painful to find that out, and that I don't want to be disliked. I don't want you to dislike me because I'm a Republican. And when I die, it's not going to say that on my grave, you know. It's going to say I'm a good person. I tried my best, or, you know.
Yes.
And I feel sad that people are so scared of change. And I want to embrace change, and I want best for the world and everybody. And I appreciate it, and I love these things. I've been to 3 of them, and I've never talked, and I was always afraid, but oh my God, now I'm outed, you know, as the Republican white girl. So, hey, thank you.
I've never really thought about politics very much. When I thought I did, it was more of just what my parents were regurgitating. Trump is only what I believe him to be in my head. I don't know who he is. I had a best friend who introduced me to the work, and I'm 23, and I get to free myself from my thoughts. I'm not seeing Trump. And maybe I will never see him. We'll never know. But that doesn't matter. I'd rather tear that piece of paper up than believe that it's Trump or my mom or my dad or the boy who incited the entire class to kick soccer balls at me in 8th grade. You can kick a soccer ball and hit me in the face and break my nose. All I'll need is a surgery. That's all.